discussing how to snatch. Okay, so as we discussed before, how to snatch is a single continuous movement from the floor overhead, okay, with the barbell. And how do we do that? First of all, we need to set up. Our setup starts off firstly with our stance. Our stance is going to stand slightly underneath our hips, toes facing forward and slightly to the outwards. Okay, your knees will then track your toes the entire time as you go into the squat. All right. So our grip, we're going to be gripping about a thumb width away from where the knurling on the bar starts. It is a wide grip. It's for those longer athletes. Grabbing maybe even against the collar will be suffice. You want it to be sitting here in your hip. Here, the barbell is in our hips, nice and relaxed. Okay. If I've got it too wide, it starts to sit in my belly button, which we don't want. And if I've got it too close, it starts to sit into my hips. Into my thighs. Alright, so make sure you've got a nice wide grip, arms fully locked out, and we're going to go into our starting position. Now, our starting position here is mid-shin. When you've got some weight, it will be from the floor, but it's generally about the mid-shin position. You want your eyes looking upwards towards about 45 degrees, making sure you have your eyes forward. Okay, you never want it facing down, you never want it facing too high up. Alright, so our back position, I'm going to turn myself slightly to the side so that you can see. We want it as straight as possible while we're in that starting position. Our back is nice and straight looking up. We do not want to be starting here with our back rounded. Okay, so our back nice and straight looking up. Our squat stance, we are slightly activated, so we're not sitting in a full squat. When we've got the bar, we're not sitting like this. Okay, we want to be slightly activated in our hamstrings, in our quads, in our lower back, looking up before we start. So the first pull is going off the floor and into the hips, into a shrugged position. That is what we call in weightlifting our first pull. You want to be keeping the bar as close to the body as possible. We're going to be coming up nice and slowly, coming up into our hips and shrug. That is what we consider a first pull in weightlifting. Okay, I'll show you one more time. From here, slowly control up. We still want to be keeping our posture nice and straight the entire time. We do not want to be moving our hips up first before our chest. Okay, so we're going to lead with the chest as we come up. So if I do it from the side, we're coming up like that and shrug. Right? What we don't want is for you to start lifting with the bum first and then coming up like that. Otherwise, you're pulling everything out of your back and supposed to pushing with your legs. Our second pull is after that shrug. We're going to continue pulling, lifting our elbows up towards the sky. You do not want to let your elbows be pushing backwards, okay? Otherwise you're going to start pulling the bar or the weight of the bar backwards, okay? So you make sure that you're nice and high once you're there. I'll be going from here slowly up, extend, okay? One more time, slowly up, extend. Okay, when we make contact, if you guys can see with the bar, we are brushing the bar upwards into our second pull. We are not bashing with the bar. Okay, there's a slight difference. So if I show you from the side, when we're coming up, as I said, you want to keep the bar nice and close to you so that when we come here, we are brushing the bar upwards, as opposed to if you keep the bar away from you, you're going to end up bashing the bar forwards. Okay, so again, one more time, it's nice and close. Transitioning from, we've done all the work to get the bar up, now we actually need to get underneath the bar. So to get underneath, first of all, your feet need to go from here slightly outwards into our squat stance. Okay, and we pulling ourselves underneath that bar, locking our elbows overhead. Okay, and our wrists are going to be backwards. Okay, you do not want to be pushing up towards the sky. You want to be pushing and locking them and pushing your wrists backwards. That allows the weight transfer from your wrists, okay, into your arm and through your body. If you're pushing up like that, all the weight sits here in your wrist, and as you guys know, your wrists are not as strong as the rest of your body. Okay, so you need to make sure that your wrists flick backwards. Okay, when we overhead, you do not want to be pushing straight up, punching the ceiling. From the floor, all the up, we're going to meet our hips, use our second pull, move our feet, transition into our squat. Okay, again I'll show you, nice and slowly, using our hips, catching into our squat, fully standing up. Alright, so when you're standing up with the bar, first make sure that you've got control over the bar overhead. Alright, sometimes you do catch it slightly off balance and the bar's still moving while overhead. You do not want to be trying to stand up too quickly because that will push the bar forward or push the bar backwards. Alright, so you need to make sure that when you catch it, hold it there for a second or so, half a second or so. Make sure that you've got stability and then fully stand up. So nice and slowly catch, hold, and then stand. Make sure you've got the bar under control. Okay, well now that we've gone through all the basics of how to snatch, let's do some snatching.